What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sloppy Saturdays. And today we are going our spread picks for week 6. Now, this episode is coming out to you guys super late. I hope you guys do tune into this before tomorrow's games. We killed it last week. We went 5-2 on probably the biggest slate of the whole college football season. When you look at matchups, we did phenomenal. I told you guys, like I said, for me personally, I didn't do that great because the games I threw the most money in were the 2 losses. Of course, that's how things go for me, but that's all right. We are going to ride the momentum into week 6 with 6 spread picks that I absolutely love on this slate. We're going to get right into it. Now, the first thing I'm going to go into is Illinois minus 8.5 at Purdue. Illinois is on the road this game, but they do ride some momentum. Now, I think Illinois is completely undervalued. I think they're a really good football team. I think they're a borderline top 15 school. The issue with Illinois is obviously the whole Indiana losing by 50 plus points is going to go down as one of the worst losses this season, one of the worst ranked losses of all time. I mean, 50 plus points is absolutely ridiculous, but I still think the Illinois team is a really good football team. The way they were protecting against USC, giving Luke Altmaier time to get in rhythm, he looked like a point guard out there. Their running game was really good. Now, against Purdue, I think that's a way easier task than USC, even though they're on the road. I think I think Purdue is one of the worst Power 4 conference teams. I think Illinois should definitely roll right through them. I think they have a little bit to prove right now. Minus 8.5, I absolutely love it. I think they beat them by double digits. Next game up. Now, you guys don't have to take this at all. I'm so sick of talking about the school. My last episode was talking about the school. If you guys want to stay off the school completely for the rest of the year, I completely understand it. But I'm going Clemson minus 14 against UNC. This game is at North Carolina, but right now UNC just doesn't even look like a cohesive football team in the least bit. To play Clemson, who I think just in the trenches is going to absolutely dominate them, talent-wise, with NFL talent, absolutely kills them. I mean, we know Clemson has 8, 9 NFL-type players on this roster, probably even more. And UNC has 1, maybe 2 NFL talents. This is just going to be a mismatch, in my opinion. I think UNC is just not ready for this at all. Never faced this type of talent this season. TCU was a really good football team. Again, you could argue right now they're better than Clemson, but we know the talent this Clemson team has. They absolutely got blown out by TCU. I think this is going to be no contest. I think this is could be possibly like a 30-plus point win for Clemson. Again, if you guys want to stay off Clemson for the rest of the season, I 100% understand it, but I think Clemson is going to absolutely roll right through them. The next team we have going off of straight momentum is Notre Dame. I love Notre Dame minus 21 against Boise State because this Boise State team is not the same as last year. I don't think they're nearly as good defending the run last year. They let up over 115 yards a game at the least minimum against all their opponents. Against Air Force, they let up 268 rushing yards. So again, we're talking about a team that lets up 117 rushing yards minimum against Air Force, 268 rushing yards, and this Notre Dame run might be the best run game in the country. When you look at 2 NFL backs, the best NFL type back in the draft, and Jeremiah Love, and then Jadarian Price as well. The offensive line is going to absolutely dominate Boise State, and then in the trenches. And CJ Carr looks like he settled in. This Notre Dame team, I talked about it. They have so much to prove. They not only have to win games on their remaining schedule every game, they also have to dominate, in my opinion, in almost every one of these games. I believe they do that. I think they easily win by 3 touchdowns. Notre Dame minus 21, I believe, is the next lock. Now we're getting into Texas minus 5.5 at Florida. Again, I think people are buying way too low on Texas. I love the momentum Arch Manning has from his last game. He looks like he's settling a little bit. It was a cupcake matchup. Things have gone as bad for Arch Manning as they could possibly go for the start of the season. But when we look at Texas, even just as a defensive unit, this is going to be one of the best defensive teams in the country. They even played great in the matchups that they lost. Now, against Ohio State. Now, against Florida, DJ Lagway has looked like an absolute mess. I don't even know how he comes out of that game playing a top-ranked defense in the country. I mean, we saw him against LSU, another top-ranked defense in the country, and LSU defense could have won that game alone without their offense scoring. So even if Arch Manning doesn't play up to par, DJ Lagway is not going to be able to read the Texas defense. And I think there's a good chance this is Arch Manning's coming out party. Give me Texas minus 5.5 for sure. Next game up, we have Penn State minus 24.5 I think this is the best bet in the entire weekend. When we look at Penn State, I think they arguably played their most winnable ranked matchup, their most winnable big game in the James Franklin era. When you look at them being an even roster to Oregon, in my opinion, being at home in that whiteout environment and how much they needed that win, they didn't get it. They get a heartbreaking loss in overtime. Drew Aller doesn't even have to throw the football in this matchup against UCLA, and I think they could cover this 24.5 point spread. When we look at what Utah did against them, a Utah team that can't even stretch the field passing, and they ran it all over them, beat them by 33 points. And then they also lost UCLA by 25 against New Mexico. Like, this UCLA team is god awful, arguably the worst Power Four team in the country, and Penn State's going to come out angry. UCLA cannot stop the run. It's the worst part of their defense, and this Penn State run game is one of the best in the country. Give me Penn State after this huge loss, minus 24.5 easily. Now we get into the last game, a game I absolutely love as well. We have Mississippi State plus 16.5 against Texas A&M. I told you guys know this Texas A&M team is one of my favorite teams in the country. So you might be saying, why am I betting against them? I just like the spread too much. I think Vegas hasn't really adjusted to Mississippi State. Mississippi State did a complete 180. They were completely uncompetitive in the SEC last year. And this year they have a staple win against Arizona State, who I believe is the best team in the Big 12, at least the most talented team in the Big 12. And then you also look, they took Tennessee to overtime as well, a really good Tennessee team. Now, I believe they could cover the 16.5 against Texas A&M. I think their offense is really solid in Mississippi State, and I don't think their defense is bad at all either. Now, the Texas A&M team, their offense is one of the best in the country. We talk about it time and time again with the two X's they have and their star running back in Le'Veon Moss with Marcel Reed. But again, this Mississippi State team could score as well, and I think 16.5 points is too much. Like, I could see this Texas A&M team even winning by double digits, but Mississippi State still covering way too many points. This Mississippi State team is super competitive. I believe they could be a borderline top 25 team at the end of things. Give me Mississippi State plus 16.5. I absolutely love that. That wraps up this episode for our spread picks for week 6. Drop down below your favorite pick. That wraps up this episode of Sloppy Saturdays, and we are out.